Hi guys, welcome back to 20-something podcast. I'm Carly if you don't already know me. Guys, I'm pretty sure we're on episode 9 today. I could be wrong because I was retitling some of my YouTube videos today and I was going through my videos and I was like, shit, did I number these wrong? But to be honest with you, I got cut off and I have to go back and double check again. I think we're on episode 9. Welcome back to 20-something podcast. I haven't recorded in a while. I took a break because I ended up getting sick a couple weeks ago, and I swear to God, guys, I had the worst case of the sniffles, and every time I recorded anything, even my TikTok content, I was editing out sniffles every 2 minutes, and I was like, if I have to podcast like this, I'm gonna die. I also just, was already stressed out to begin with, and I was like, if I don't do the podcast this week, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I missed you guys, though. Today, we have a lot to talk about. We're gonna be talking about my birthday plans because my birthday is coming up. I'm filming this on Sunday, April 21st. So by the time that you guys see this, I already will have had my birthday. My birthday's on the 23rd, which is this Tuesday. I'm so excited. My best friend from home is coming up to Rhode Island to see me. And we're gonna go to the bars and we're just gonna have so much fun. I have a little birthday dinner coming up. I'm so fucking excited to be 21. I feel like the last month or so, my friends have all been 21 and they're all going out and I'm just having FOMO. And obviously, turning 21 in April is not that bad. There are people who have it way, way worse than I do. But I just, naturally get the worst FOMO in the world. There is no one else on this earth that will complain more for being left out of things. I get so fucking upset. And this especially, when I'm born, is so far out of my control. So I was like, fuck, this really sucks. But I have been taking advantage of having Saturdays and stuff to myself lately. Saturday is usually when I've been recording the podcast, which I've really liked, but I'm definitely gonna have to switch it up for the coming weeks. I actually have been thinking, going into summer, I might switch to a bi-weekly upload schedule, but I'm not 100% sure yet. To be honest with you guys, I love recording the podcast. My main problem is just that I feel like I'm doing so many things at once, but I also just have been so busy because I've been applying to jobs and I've had all of that stuff going on and I'm still in school, so I'm doing college while editing this podcast, and then I'm also trying to grow my personal social media accounts and the accounts for this podcast, but I just feel like I'm doing so many different things, which in a way is a great thing for me. I love being a productive person. I love being busy, but I get so stressed out. And I'm thinking possibly over the summer it might be easy for me to do bi-weekly, and that way I'll be able to pour so much not only into the podcast episodes, but I'll be able to edit probably better and pay more attention to how I'm editing and promote the podcast better, which is super important to me. I love the audience I have right now. There's only a couple hundred of you guys, maybe. But then again, if you think about it, even some of my podcasts only have 30, 40 views. If you think about it though, that's a lot of people. That's a classroom full of people. Even though I love my small little community that we have here, I want to grow. If that's not insanely clear already. But I feel like I've kind of had my hands in so many different places, trying to grow my own platform, trying to grow this podcast, figuring out what I want to do for the summer. I'm managing school. I just feel like my head's in a million different places. I'm excited for this summer because I'm really going to be taking a lot of time to focus on myself. And I want to take you guys on that journey with me, and I do really want to pour as much as I physically can into growing this community and really making this podcast everything that I want it to be and more. Yeah, 2024 for me is a big year of growth. So expecting good things, but I'm just letting you guys know if I switch to a bi-weekly upload schedule, don't be surprised. I really, really want to start making vlogs too. I watch a ton of lifestyle YouTubers. I've always wanted to make vlogs. Before I even wanted a podcast, I wanted to do that. And I feel like doing the podcast bi-weekly would just give me more time to do that too. So I think I'm leaning towards that. We're also going to be talking about Sabrina Carpenter and her Coachella performance. I'm so obsessed with her lately. As I'm sure the entire world is. But the meat of this episode, the main topic that we're going to be talking about is your first love and heartbreak and how to get over your first love or another love or really any heartbreak that you go through. So let's get into the episode. To really quickly go over my birthday plans, because I know I just touched on it briefly, but my best friend Shane is coming up on Thursday and we're going to go out Thursday night. We're going to a bar. I'm so excited. It's like a trashy college bar. And then on Friday, I'm hosting a little birthday dinner. And I'm really excited for that. I ordered like a cute tablecloth. I ordered black ribbons, little candles. Like, it's going to be super aesthetic. Hopefully. And even if it's not, I'm just excited because it's going to be a good time. Oh, on my actual birthday, on Tuesday, I'm going out to dinner with my boyfriend, which is also going to be a good time. I don't know where we're going yet, but we're doing that. But going back, on Saturday, I'm finally going out to like the big college bar that we have here. And I could not be more excited. I have like cute little like graphic bar tees coming for this week and I'm just like, I've been waiting for this for so long. So expect content. There's gonna be so much that I'm posting this week. It's a big week for me. I literally have been like busting my ass to try to get schoolwork out of the way so that I don't have to worry about it this week. But turning 21 is so fun. I feel like this is like a big birthday. I feel like this is the last big birthday. Like when I turned 17, the big thing was getting my license because I'm from New Jersey, so I don't get my license until 17. But then I feel like 18's a big thing because you're an adult, and then 19, 20 are just kind of and then you turn 21 and like, oh my god, you're 21, you're legal. What is next? Like 25? 30? Crazy. But I'm super excited. I'm also just glad that like all my friends are going to be in one place. Well, almost all my friends. I'm just ready to like live in the moment and take it all in. In the next episode, I will for sure be recapping everything that goes down my birthday weekend, all the craziness. I'm hoping there's not too much drama, but I definitely want to be active. Guys, I'm drinking tea today. I've been on my tea kick lately. I didn't used to be a tea girl. Until this year, actually. I feel like as an adult, you just kind of like wake up and there are certain things that all of a sudden you like. Like, for instance, I woke up one day and I was like, actually, I really like dips and I really like hummus. And I never liked those before. And one day I woke up and I was like, I actually really like tea. But it's been super helpful with being sick and with allergy season. Should I read my little, like, tea cards, you guys? Okay, I like this one. This one says, gratitude leads to love. I have been trying to be grateful lately. I feel like it's hard sometimes to be thankful for everything that you do have, because as humans we have a tendency, like, when we achieve a goal, we're like, okay, what's the next thing? And I get like that really bad. So thank you to my tea for that reminder. Also, before I forget to tell you guys, subscribe to this channel. Rate the podcast on Apple Music and Spotify. Really helps me out. Comment on this video if you're hearing this. If you're watching on YouTube, comment on this video. You don't have to say anything. Like, you can literally comment a cute emoji. Follow 20 Something Podcast on Instagram. It'll be linked down below. Follow me on Instagram. That'll also be linked down below. Follow me on TikTok. Comment on my TikToks. Like my TikToks. I'm really trying to build a community on there too. Oh, submit to our hotline in our Instagram bio if you want to tell me a story or ask me a question, or if you have a topic that I should talk about. To catch you guys up on my week has been really good. This week was so much fun. I had my sorority formal on Friday. I brought my boyfriend, of course. I'll put pictures in for you guys here, but I loved my dress this year. I got it from Pepper Mayo. I thought it was super cute and kind of different from dresses that I've worn in the past. My boyfriend and I have been to so many formals together at this point, but they're so much fun. I literally had the best time of my life. I saw so many people that I haven't gotten to see out. It was in Providence at a club called Soul, and I just had like the best time ever. And oh my god, I won a superlative for my sorority chapter. I won most likely to be famous. I'm literally so honored. Like, I actually guys, I actually, when I saw that I was balloted for it, because they'll send out a questionnaire where you can like write in answers, and then they'll send out another one with the top 3 for each category, and then people vote. And when I saw that I was balloted for it, I literally was like, and then I won, and I'll insert my reaction and my little picture, but I literally felt like I won an Oscar, so If you're my sorority and you voted for me and you're listening to this, thank you. I'd like to thank my family. I'd like to thank the academy. So, moving on, we absolutely need to talk about Sabrina Carpenter. If you guys don't know, I have been a fan of Sabrina Carpenter since I was probably in middle school when she came out with, like, her first song, the one that was on Disney Channel. I remember they, like, would play the music video on Disney Channel. I was obsessed with her since she was on Girl Meets World. I thought she was so pretty and so talented, and I thought she was funny and edgy, and I loved her hair. But she has been busting her little butt in the music industry for so long, and I feel like it was never clicking for her. I listened to her past two previous albums. I'm literally forgetting the names of them, but I've listened to those two, and like I like a lot of the songs on them. I've always really liked her voice and her style. Guys, I was devastated when she was getting hate when everything was going on with Olivia Rodrigo and Joshua Bassett. I was actually so upset because I was a fan of hers, and then she dropped Emails I Can't Send shortly after, like, that whole situation was going on. And I kid you not, like, I have sobbed through that album. The intro song, like, Emails I Can't Send, is actually one of my favorite songs in the world. It means so much to me. And, like, I don't cry over songs often. That song gets me, like, every time. I could recite the entire thing right now for you, but I'm not going to. If you guys haven't listened to that album, definitely listen to it. I love the way that Sabrina writes songs too. She plays with words in a way that I don't think a lot of artists know how to do. She's so pop, and she's just so cute, and she deserves everything that she's getting. I'm so glad that she's finally getting so much hype and so much support, and I feel like her opening for the Eras Tour obviously boosted her career so much, and I'm so glad that that did happen because I feel like Taylor Swift has such a strong fan base. I personally I wouldn't call myself like a Swiftie. I like some of her songs, but that like community and everyone who would call themselves a Swiftie, like obviously they all really like Sabrina now, and that's just done so much for her. She has so many new fans, so many old fans too. She performed at Coachella this year. Now, I was not at Coachella. I do want to go to Coachella one day. I'm praying that one day I'll be able to go, and hopefully Sabrina is performing again when I do go. But her Coachella set was just everything that I could have imagined and more. I'll put pictures in of this too, but it was like this motel set in baby blue. There was a baby blue convertible outside, and it said motel at the top, and then she came up on this like little sign that said like Sabrina's. She literally like arose from the motel. It just gave everything. Like, it was giving performance. She can dance. She has this like she just did so good. She did so good. And her costumes were good. She wore this little shirt that said like Jesus was a carpenter, which was like a reference to some like video or tweet or something. But it was just so cute and so good, and I wish I could have been there. My entire For You page was just videos of Sabrina Carpenter, and I reposted so many of them. Like, I actually think I have a problem. And she's dating Barry Keoghan, the guy from Saltburn. I never in a million years would I have guessed that they would be dating. But he's for sure her type. Like, she likes brunettes, for sure. It seems that is her type, like, average height brunettes. He definitely fits into that category, but the man is a dad. Like, he's a dad. I think he has a kid, and I don't know how old he is, but I didn't think that they were in, like, the same dating bracket. But they're cute, and he's in love with her, and he's obsessed with her, and, like, she was making jokes about him on stage and stuff, and, like, it was adorable. That video of them that went viral of like she waved to him and he geeked out was so cute. I just can't see it. I don't know why. I just can't see it. I feel like I can see her with other people. I don't know. I don't know if that's horrible. Obviously, I don't know her as a person, and I have nothing to do with her dating life whatsoever, and I don't need to have an opinion, but I didn't believe it until I actually saw the footage of them together at Coachella. But you know what? As long as she's happy, that's all that matters. Even her billboards were so good leading up to Coachella. Like, everything she does is so pop, so smart. Everything is so beautifully executed. Her team is insane. She's been doing so much PR lately. She's just been everywhere. Like, her team works their ass off. She's actually killing the game. Like, her, I feel like Sabrina Carpenter and Tate McRae are like the two pop stars right now. Like, they're on the come up. They're killing the game. And I'm obsessed with both of them. Like, I can't. And I really wanted the little espresso sweatshirt. I think it has an espresso martini on it. If I'm like, I could totally be lying to you, but she put out merch and I really want it, but it's $70 fucking. Like, it's so expensive. It doesn't need to be that expensive, but I want it so bad. The espresso music video was so good. So fucking good. And the whole song is so good. She's really mastered this, like, catchy, upbeat sound that she has in a lot of her songs. Like, Nonsense is like that. But those are my thoughts on her. I cannot wait to see what she does. I'm really hoping that she comes out with another album soon. I'm, like, praying for it, because it's been a while. It's been, I think, 2 years now, because she came out with Emails I Can't Send in 2022, April of 2022, I think. So I'm awaiting something. Hopefully maybe something for the summer. I feel like that is, I feel like summer is just, like, giving Sabrina Carpenter energy, upbeat, like. Moving on to our topic of the week. Someone commented on one of my TikToks. I was asking if anyone had any topics or anything, and someone commented, can you talk about first loves and heartbreak and getting over your first love? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely. That's such a good topic. And I really, like, sat down and I thought about this one, because if I could even help one person, like, through heartbreak or getting over their ex today, that is good enough for me. Before we talk about getting over a breakup, we're going to be talking about your first love and the experience of having a first love. I think that your first love, I've always thought, is the first time that you genuinely love someone wholeheartedly, and the first time that you're truly vulnerable. And before you've experienced actual true heartbreak, in your first relationship, you're going to give everything to that person that you possibly can without much of a care. And maybe not a care, maybe that's not the worst word for it, but I feel like in your first relationship, you're so much less scared to love and to fall in love. And this might not always be the case, but it is so different from the other loves that you'll have in your life after your first love, because that's the first person that you're trusting with your heart and that you're giving your heart to. I feel like a lot of a first relationship is kind of romanticized and idealized in a way that maybe other relationships are not. And I did end up doing some research on the subject because I was kind of curious. I feel like a lot of people say, I'm never able to get over my first love. I can't forget my first love, but they'll remember bits and pieces of information about their first love that they wouldn't necessarily remember about loves after. But I definitely wouldn't say that your first love isn't necessarily your truest love. I know that I'm sitting here saying, like, your first love is your most vulnerable love and the love that you truly, like, pour your heart into in a way that you don't other relationships, but I do think that before you fall in love for the first time, you're so willing to fall in love that the love is just different than loves that you have after. I wouldn't say that my first love was necessarily, like, a true love in the way that I love my current boyfriend. I think your first relationship and maybe first, like, serious relationship are two very different things. Maybe for some people those two things are the same thing. Me personally, I feel like the love that I had with my first boyfriend is a very different feeling than the love that I feel towards my current boyfriend. Still love, but I don't know if I'd necessarily say, oh, I was in love with him. It's very different. And it's something that I think is really hard to explain. When I did some research on this, according to actual scientists and like psychology and everything, you're more likely to develop something called flashbulb memories. These flashbulb memories are a kind of memory that is stored in your brain and remains incredibly vivid over time because it's the first time that your brain and your nervous system are experiencing this exact combination of emotions. And when we think about it, during our first relationship and our first love, you're experiencing all different kinds of emotions that you haven't before. And because of this, our brain logs these memories and we really, really internalize them in a way that we might not with relationships past our first love. And this is why so many people say that they have a hard time getting over their first love, they can't move on from their first love, and that they compare every person after to their first love. And it's something that even my therapist always told me this in therapy, that people just have a tendency to better remember their first love than any of the following, except for obviously the person that they do end up with in the end. And it's so interesting to me, and I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that your first love and the first relationship you have kind of defines love for you and relationships for you and how you love, and you learn so much about yourself when you're in a relationship with someone and when you're really giving your heart and soul to a person. And that really can be something that is hard to let go of. To tell you guys a little bit about my first love and my story with this. My first boyfriend that I met him when I had just turned 14. I was coming out of 8th grade and he was about a year and a couple months older than me at the time. So I was 14, he was 15. And looking back, like, our relationship was super cute and the first couple months of our relationship were super wholesome, and I wouldn't trade this experience for the world, like, just to be clear. Because I think that falling in love, like, genuinely, truly teaches you so much about yourself, and it teaches you how to be selfless and how to build a relationship with someone and how to place in boundaries that you need to place in relationships, how to communicate with people. I learned so much about jealousy and feeling jealousy myself and other people feeling jealousy. It just taught me so much about myself. And I was in this relationship with this guy for almost 2 years. We were together. Which is a long time in high school if you think about it. A 2-year relationship in high school is such a long time. I went to a Catholic school in my town and he went to an all-boys Catholic school like the town over. We had a lot of the same people that we knew. There were a lot of times in our relationship that it was a great relationship, but like every teenage relationship, I think that teenage relationships, like, you have so many hormones going on and there's so much on your plate. You're so stressed all the time. It is everyone's, like, first time dating people. You kind of don't know how to manage that, especially with emotions running so high. There was a point in my high school relationship where it was, like, very toxic, and I was fighting with this kid every single day, literally on a daily basis. Like, I was waking up as a 15-year-old girl and I was, like, texting him, like, okay, we're gonna have a good day today. We're not gonna fight today, right? Like, that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy if you think about it. And no one should have to be put through that in the relationship, especially as a 15-year-old girl. And I'm not going to go too in-depth into my struggles in that relationship because it is something that I, like, rarely open up about. And because it was my first love and because I really gave this kid, like, everything in me and I really thought that I was in love, I also just didn't have the best example of love growing up, and I think that really affected my expectations going into a relationship, and I kind of let a lot of shit slide, and I did a lot of things that I maybe shouldn't have done myself. But the moral of the story, it was not a great relationship in the end. I really think that him and I probably should have broken up a lot sooner than we actually did. But we ended up breaking up around when I turned 16. So in April of, I don't even know, I was like a sophomore. I think, in high school. I was just devastated. I remember for days at a time, I was crying, even though I felt like our breakup was mutual, because I kind of also realized this kid literally told me, like, you do not make me happy anymore. Hello, let's break up. Although it was kind of mutual, I did also feel so defeated and so mad at myself because he had told me, you do not make me happy anymore. For months and months and months after this breakup, I felt like I was unlovable and like I was doing something wrong, and that I really needed to work on myself because I didn't think that I had the capacity to make someone happy anymore. Getting over this breakup took me a while. I think it took me like a full year to actually fully get over it and not think about this kid every single day, because it affected me really bad. I don't think that I really handled it in the right way either. I think there were definitely coping mechanisms that I could have used to help me get over the breakup that I maybe didn't. Like things that I would tell my friends to do if they got broken up with today that I just didn't understand at that age at 16 how to get over a breakup and like heal yourself in a healthy way. So I kind of just like pretended like I was doing fine and waited until I just like stopped feeling it anymore. And I still reached out to him after. I did not keep no contact at all. I've seen this kid since. Like I saw him out one time like at a bar, and he's a nice guy. Like I don't wish him any harm. I wish him all the best. But I was so devastated over this kid, and looking back, like, I had no reason to be. Of course I should not have been with someone who I did not make happy. Of course I shouldn't have been with this kid who made me feel bad about myself in so many ways and said things to me that you should never say to a person. And I said things that you should never say to a person, like, at such a young age and in such a vulnerable position. But what I was feeling was huge, and my emotions felt so big. And your first heartbreak, like, it is the worst thing in the world. It's not fun. To help you guys out, if you're currently getting over your first love or your second love or your third love, I don't know, if you're going through any kind of heartbreak, I wrote down kind of my biggest tips and my biggest pieces of advice if you're going through this yourself that I wanted to give you guys. My number one is always, after you break up with someone, take a couple days to cry it out. Like, let yourself feel, let yourself grieve the relationship. I think that it's really important to kind of have time where you do feel bad for yourself, instead of just doing what I did where I was like, okay, we broke up, but I'm fine. I'm going to pretend like I'm fine. I'm not going to cry about it for a while. And like, I cried, but I wasn't open with the fact that I was grieving it. And I think during those couple of days, it's really important to lean on your friends and your family for support and let them know, obviously, you're upset. Like, when they're like, I'm so sorry, are you okay? Don't lie and be like, I'm fine. Tell them you're upset and that you need time to heal and that you want to, like, spend time to kind of rot. Like, bed rot. If that's what you want to do, bed rot and cry it out. And watch sad movies and eat your favorite ice cream. Like, I think it's so important to do that, and I think sometimes people are so into like hustling and just getting shit done that they forget to give themselves time to like really process their emotions, and that can be really harmful in the long run. My next piece of advice is to not judge yourself for how you feel. If you find yourself missing this person, don't beat yourself up over it. Just kind of try to redirect your thoughts. If you find yourself beating yourself up for how the relationship ended, try to redirect your thoughts. Like, it's normal to have these feelings, and it's normal to feel certain ways after a breakup, but what's going to make it worse is if you're hating on yourself for how you feel. You can't help how you feel. What you can control is how you choose to manage how you feel and the actions that you take to make yourself feel better. So try to focus on that and try to focus less on the intrusive thoughts that you're having and kind of what you're feeling on the inside, and focus more on how you can help yourself feel better when you're having thoughts like that. The next piece of advice that I have is to kind of just accept that the relationship has ended when you're ready. Because I think that I didn't do this at first with my first breakup. I kind of thought for a while, oh, I'm going to get back together with him at some point. Even though I knew that that wasn't the healthy decision for me, I just thought that it would happen. Because I think that in movies and stuff, we always see people get back together. And I kind of had that like expectation of like, oh, well, guys always do want to get back together at some point, which by the way, they do. Something about men is that when a breakup happens, women tend to feel first and then get over it, and men are the opposite, where they don't feel. And then it hits them a while later, and that's why men are usually the ones who want to get back together, and the woman doesn't. Just by the way. But don't let yourself sit around and fantasize about that person. I struggled with this too, because I think when you have a boyfriend, obviously, you think about things when you fall asleep at night. You're like, oh, it'd be so cute if, we had a dog. Maybe I'm falling asleep and I'm thinking about me and my boyfriend walking our dog. If you're, finding yourself having these thoughts and these, little fantasies about the person that you just broke up with, try to replace them in your mind with your ideal person. When I started thinking about stuff like that, I would just take that person and replace him with my ideal partner. That kind of also works in the sense of manifestation, believing that you deserve your ideal partner opposed to the person that you just broke up with, if that makes any sense. My next thing is to give yourself time. Obviously, healing can be a really slow process, and you're obviously not going to get over someone in just a couple days. So if you're currently going through a breakup and it's taking you a while to get over, just give yourself some grace and remember that good things take time. And the thing that I always used to tell myself was that one day I will be able to look back and not feel the way that I feel right now and not have the emotions that I have right now attached to this person still. Right now, I'm sitting in front of you and I'm able to talk about the heartbreak that I went through at 16 here at almost 21, and I don't feel a thing towards it anymore. One day, you will be able to completely detach yourself from the situation. You will get there, and it's okay if you are not there right now. Next, stay super busy during this time. Breakups are the perfect time to focus on work, focus on yourself, to pick up a new hobby, to spend time with your friends and spend time with your family. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself. When you do feel better and you do feel like going back to normal life, just try to really do things that will fill your time and take up your attention so that you're not just sitting around thinking about how you're sad or how you miss someone or how you wish that you didn't break up with this person. It's so important to distract your brain. Next thing I said is just to focus on your well-being and really focus on self-care and things that are going to make you happy. And I know I touched on this, but the way that I like to think about this is that when you break up with someone, take all of the love that you have in yourself that you had previously dedicated to that person and just take it and pour it into yourself now. So instead of waking up every day and the first person on your mind is that person that you were with, now you get to wake up every day and the first person on your mind is you, and the only person that you're responsible for making happy is yourself. If you're going through a breakup, take the time to genuinely improve yourself, to do self-care, to do all the things that you know make you happy, instead of relying on another person for that happiness. Next thing is the no contact rule. Please listen to me when I say this. I know everyone talks about the no contact rule, but it's genuinely real. If you broke up with someone, unfollow them. Delete your text conversation. You don't have to block their number if you don't want to, but delete your text conversation so you're not even tempted to look at it. Delete your photos. And if you can't bring yourself to delete them, at least put them on a hard drive or something and put them away so that they're not on your phone. Take everything that they've given you. Letters, gifts, everything. If you're not going to throw it away, put it in a box and put it away somewhere that you can't access it. But if you are ready to throw it away, throw it away. The reason why I say all this is because out of sight, out of mind is real. You do not need to see what this person is doing. If they're in your friend group, obviously it's a hard, very different situation, but I still stick by that rule. You don't need to be looking at their social media. You don't need to be on their private stories. You don't need to follow their dump accounts. You don't need to be checking their Instagram. I stand by this. It just is the worst thing when you're done with someone. When you're trying to get over someone, constantly seeing what they're up to and who they're with is just going to bother you. Whether you care about the relationship or not, it's going to bother you. And I just think that it's a recipe for disaster. Stop texting them. Don't text them when you're drunk. I don't care. I don't care that you're drunk. Don't reach out to them. If you're actually trying to heal yourself, why are you reaching out to them? I always say, when you break up with someone, you break up for a reason. 99% of the time, you should not get back together with someone if you've broken up with them. Because you broke up for a reason, and whatever issue you had is probably going to come right back up. Why are you putting yourself in the position of getting hurt all over again? Stop reaching out to them. That's kind of all the advice that I have for you guys. Please give yourself grace if you are going through this. I'm always here for you guys if you need. You can DM me. You can submit to our Google form. Like, I know how hard it is to be going through a breakup and to feel unwanted and unloved, but at the end of the day, you're always loved. If no one else has told you, I love you, you're worth so much more than an unhealthy relationship. You're worth more than someone who isn't giving you their all. You deserve all of the love in the world. Thank you for listening to the podcast this week. I love talking to you guys. I'm so thankful that people are enjoying and everyone has just been so nice and so supportive. I hope this helped at least one person. If it didn't help you, I'm sorry. If you're still listening, make sure you're subscribed, rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, like, comment, follow, do all the things. Use our hotline. I love you guys so much, and I will see you so soon.